This is a Capital Politics special. The vote a new speaker. It's 11:24 a.m. in the East Coast. Good morning. The House is now having its quorum call. All right. As of 11:24 25 in the morning, there are now 323 members present in the House. Today is the second day of voting. Yesterday, no House Speaker has been elected after no one reaching exact number, a majority of members. Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York received 212, near 5 shy of the 270 need to win. Representative Jim Jordan received 200, while other representatives vote some, 20 representatives voted others. Today is the second day of the uh, roll call, the House Speaker vote. So let's proceed first with the quorum call. Alright, it's 11:30 a.m. 11:31 a.m. on the East Coast. There are now 405 members in the House chamber. Alright, as of 11:33, there are now 417 members present. Before that, we have just received a news. Capital Politics can now confirm President Joe Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken have boarded Air Force One from Tel Aviv, going back to the United States at 11:15 a.m. This was reported by CBS News White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe. While the House is choosing a new speaker, the Senate is still business as usual as they are conducting a hearing on the nomination for the new ambassador of Israel. Today they're holding a meeting. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee is holding a hearing to confirm Jacob Liu as ambassador to Israel. Liu served as Treasury Secretary under former President Obama, was nominated by President Biden last month after Tom Nides departed the role in July. There are now 426 members present in the call. 6 Democrats are not still present, 1 Republican is not present. Now 427 now. Alright, as the quorum calls continue, we'll be right back. This is Capital Politics special coverage. The vote, a new speaker. Welcome back to Capital Politics coverage. To vote a new speaker. We are now have carried actually the live feed from C-SPAN. So still the House is in a roll call. 430 members now present.
I sat there and I watched this little thing go on here, and I'm disgusted by it. We see veterans, could lose money. We see, and I see this stuff about, using the Constitution, saying "we the people." When I see them, Republicans, they're trying to, distort things like taking away books, taking away things, and they say they're the unifying party right now, and I'm kind of on the bubble of switching because I don't think they know what the truth is anymore.
Well, how does that relate to the House Speaker election?
Well, I look at Jim Jordan and I sat there and I see he hasn't passed anything. He hasn't, he's not working to anything. I called Kevin McCarthy's office the other day about this, and they just ignored me, and I think that Jim Jordan is a very poor person to be leading this party right now because he's not looking to help the country, but he's looking to help tear it down.
And being from Bakersfield, what did you think of Kevin McCarthy in the Speaker's role?
Well, again, I think he's better than Jim Jordan, but as I speak for some of the veterans here. I'm a social worker. That he has a hard time telling the truth. He's been promising the veterans, a new clinic here for at least 10 years, and it still hasn't got one. So his trust level is. But he is better than Jim Jordan. I would support him over.
Okay, let's go to our independent line. This is our line for others. Wayne in Texas. Hi.
Yes. Good evening. These congressmen, they act like kids in a nursery. Stand up and be a person, not a kid. You was voted in by the people. You should honor the vote, but also be a person that will stand up for the government and do what is right, not what is wrong. Our veterans, they fought for this country. Our older veterans, they fought for this country. Stand up and fight for this country. Stand with your people that voted you in. Don't just go and be looking for something, a gift from the people.
Okay, that's Wayne there in Texas. 15 minutes was set for this call, time relative being in this process, waiting on those final members to put their spots in before we start the process. This is Lisa in South Carolina, Democrats line. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, yes. I'm saddened. I'm afraid. I don't understand the people that are voting for Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan almost has a war against America, which he's an insurrectionist.
Again, to those who are joining us, welcome to Capital Politics coverage of the vote, a new speaker. We are carrying the live feed of C-SPAN as right now As we await from the quorum call, C-SPAN are taking calls from Marts of America on giving their opinions on this topic. Again, it's 11:43. It's 11:43 a.m. on the East Coast, and we have now 431 House members present in the chamber. One Democrat and one Republican is still not in the chamber. Alright, we are seeing from the live feed of C-SPAN, Representative Mike Kelly has approached Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry. If I'm not mistaken, Representative Kelly has a resolution to empower Speaker Pro Tempore McHenry to hold that position for a short period of time. I think I saw that was a resolution. There were a resolution filed that Representative Mike Kelly to hold that position while a speaker is still not elected. Alright? Alright, the House will now resume.
Why we need one.
When it comes to the debate in your classroom, as far as the speaker itself, is it evenly divided? Are there those who support Jim Jordan, those who are against him? How does that break down?
It's very divided in this class right now. We've been debating about it all week.
Okay. Keep watching, and thank you for watching our network as part of your educational process when it comes to this play out. Appreciate students who watch particularly AP classes all across the United States. They're interested in history and government. Again, thanks for calling in. Sarah Ferris from Politico reporting that centrist Republicans, as they're described, are serious about this idea of giving powers to the current Speaker Pro Tem, Patrick McHenry. That's something that's being played out there. Democrats reportedly also watching that. It's the plan from Representative Dave Joyce, still highly secreted according to Sarah Ferris, expected to include language on a continuing resolution as well, including aid packages for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, and also the McHenry powers. So that's a new twist of reporting. Whether it plays out or not, we'll see. But that's Sarah Ferris from Politico reporting there. Again, we are down to this call of the House, which started well over 20, 25 minutes ago, probably longer than that, to establish the quorum to go into the voting process. We're waiting on a lone person to cast
we have
their
report now. 432 representatives have registered for the quorum call. One Democrat is still not yet. Yesterday, Representative Mary Peltola of Alaska was welcomed by applause when she entered the House chamber. That was the first time Congressman Peltola has entered the chamber after his husband died. He entered the House. She entered the House chamber, then voted for Representative Hakeem Jeffries.
At Craig Kaplan, that the lone holdout so far to that one number that you see, Representative Donald Payne, Democrat from New Jersey, not voted yet. So that's, again, more information you can learn from Craig at Craig Kaplan, who watches Capitol Hill for us. Let's hear from Daniel in San Francisco, Democrats line.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. So I think like the best speaker would definitely be Hakeem Jeffries, but I'd say if Jim Jordan doesn't succeed with the Republicans and they decide to go with the strange strategy of putting Trump up, I would rather say that we follow Jamie Raskin's thing that he floated where he suggested that Liz Cheney might be a good option. And yeah, while she's the best candidate, she would be way better than the alternatives that we're seeing so far.
In Florida, independent line, Heidi, good morning.
Hi. I used to be a Republican. After Trump got into office, I switched parties and became an independent. I feel that extremists on either side is not good for our country. And I would prefer to see Hakeem Jeffries there, but if not, I would say McHenry would be a better choice. Jordan, he snubbed his nose at a subpoena. He's an extremist. He's in bed with Donald Trump, and he would do his bidding, just like he's got the inquiry of impeachment against President Biden right now with no evidence whatsoever. So he's as corrupt as most of those right-wing extremists are. All of them have problems, so I wouldn't want to see him there at all.
South Carolina Republican.
The House has 432 members present. Alright, while they continue, we have just received from Jake Sherman and John Breshnan. Sources have told them that a lot of talk on the floor right now about what comes after Jordan loses the second ballot. Many House Republicans are pushing for a vote to make Speaker Pro Tem McHenry Speaker for some period of time into January 2024. Others want a closed House Republican conference meeting. Let's now go back to the House floor.
If the tellers will please come forward and take their seats. Tellers. The gentleman, Mr. Stiles. The gentleman, Mr. Loudermilk. The gentlelady from Alabama. Ms. Sewell, prompt. Thanks. All right. The nominations are now in order.
All right,
the chair
the same
recognizes the
people
gentleman from
who,
Oklahoma, Mr. Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
has
Mr.
been
Speaker,
the,
I rise for the purpose of
tellers
placing in
yesterday
nomination
was also the
the
tellers
name of the
for
Honorable
this,
Jim Jordan for the position of Speaker of
call
the
vote.
House at the direction of the Republican Congress.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Commercial.
Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks and 1 day ago,
the vote and you
I was
speak.
on this House. Person of absolute personal integrity. I have never once had to question something that he told me. He's an honorable man. Also, I think we all know he's a pretty direct man, too. I don't think anybody in here on any issue of any substance would have to guess where Jim Jordan is going to stand. He doesn't deceive. He doesn't dissemble. He simply tells you straight up, this is what I believe, this is why I think it's the right thing to do for the country, and that's what I'm going to try and accomplish, and I'm going to work with you in any way that I can to do it. Now, the other thing I think we've found in the last couple of weeks is what it takes to be a speaker. And the one thing I know, never having been one and never having aspired to be one, that it takes a spine of steel to do this job. My friend has that kind of determination, has that kind of character, has that kind of spine. And I think the next speaker is going to need that quality, and I know my friend has it in great abundance. Now, if you're a Republican, it ought to be a pretty easy decision, my friends. You know, this is somebody who believes what we believe and has fought for and shown that over and over again. You know, when I first got to know him, a lot of his focus was on spending. That's exactly where the focus of this House ought to be. Now, he's laid out a plan, not just a short-term plan, as to how we deal with the appropriations process. I'm an appropriator. I think I know that that's not the root of the problem. But unlike any other speaker we've had, he's had the courage to talk about a long-term plan and to get at the real drivers of debt. And we all know what they are. We all know it's Social Security. We all know it's Medicare. We all know it's Medicaid. No president of either side has been willing to deal with this. No speaker of either side has been willing to deal with this. My friend, our former colleague, John Delaney, and I offered a plan. I still file it every year. John's not here anymore. To go back and do in 1983 what we did then and address Social Security. We never can get any help. This is the guy that wants to create a debt commission, a bipartisan debt commission, and get at the roots of our spending problem. That takes courage. And Republicans ought to support somebody with that kind of courage. Now, he's not only focused on one thing. I don't know anybody that's done more to highlight and talk about the border disaster that is underway right now as we speak. You know, I had the privilege of serving here when Jay Johnson was Secretary of Homeland Security. I have a very high opinion of Jay Johnson. I think he's one of the finest public servants I ever met. And he was asked on one occasion to define what was a crisis on the southern border. And he said, anytime you have more than 1,000 illegal entries a day, you have a crisis. We have 10 or 11 times that every single day. And in that tide of humanity that's coming across, there is a boatload of fentanyl coming to kill tens of thousands of all of our constituents. There are human traffickers who are taking advantage of young men and young women and, frankly, predators in our own country, and they're bringing them across, not by the tens or the 20s or the dozens, but by the hundreds and the thousands. You know, there are amongst that flow of people that wish us ill. People who are not fleeing from oppression, people who are terrorists or criminals that are coming into our country for no good reason. Now, that is not an immigration problem. That's a border security problem. They are not the same thing. We can debate immigration. That's a worthy debate. We should never have to debate border security. Nobody's highlighted that issue like my friend Jim Jordan. Nobody's done more as a committee chairman to move legislation that would meaningfully deal with this problem. And this, my friends, on both sides of the aisle, but with all due respect, particularly this administration and my friends on the other side, you need to look at this. You need to look at this seriously. Don't confuse it with immigration. You ain't going to have immigration reform until we have border security. Cannot be done. This has been the #1 champion of that. It's one of the #1 issues that we have. Finally, I want to talk about something that can bring us together. of us, and all of us know that they are within their rights to respond forcefully and swiftly to defend their people and punish those who brought that upon them. So at a moment of crisis, and we are in a moment of crisis, we should come together and act. And we know we can't do that without a Speaker of the House. Now, it's a narrow majority, but my friends and I are in the majority. And we need to produce a Speaker. We have a candidate who we know where he will stand on issues that are important. We know where he's going to stand on spending because it's where he's always stood. Not like he's changed over the course of his career. I know what he's going to do on the border. I've read H.R. 2. I've seen what his committee produced. And it's not just money, it's policy and change that will provide security for the American people. And finally, and I say this on a bipartisan basis, I know he will stand up for Israel, and I know in that area we can come together. That crisis is on us now. We may get a request almost any time to act. We need to be able to act. My friend will act on that crisis. He's shown it his whole career. So it's with a great deal of pride that I have the privilege of nominating my friend, our chairman of the Judiciary Committee, but a person whose principles you know, whose actions you can trust, and who in a time of crisis will respond with the leadership we need. Jim Jordan.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, I rise today at the direction of the House Democratic Caucus to place into nomination for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Here we are again, Mr. Speaker. And I promise to make these speeches shorter if we get closer to a compromise, but I'm not certain that that's going to happen at this moment. While the Republican candidate for Speaker is making late-night backroom deals to secure the gavel, Leader Jeffries has once again extended the hand of bipartisanship for a path forward. One thing was very clear yesterday: the vote total, 220, 212 to 200. The People's House has spoken, and Leader Jeffries has the support to be Speaker that this country needs. Mr. Speaker.
All right, Representative Pete Aguilar is now nominating Representative Hakeem Jeffries.
We shouldn't, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, we shouldn't be surprised at the vote count. I noted yesterday the legislative acumen of the gentleman from Ohio. Would it surprise anyone that in addition to not passing a single piece of legislation, he's never put a piece of legislation that has made it to a committee? The Speaker of the House must be a legislator, and the gentleman from Ohio falls short in that regard. He supports an extreme agenda and is hell-bent on banning abortion nationwide, gutting Medicare, gutting Social Security, and giving cover to January 6th attackers. Those aren't the values that we share. If we don't see a speaker elected in this round, there's going to be another candidate and another internal Republican conference vote and a secret ballot, and the country can't afford more delays and more chaos. 15 days should be enough. House Democrats are united on this path forward. We're united behind Hakeem Jeffries, united to put people over politics, and united to lower costs, create better paying jobs, build safer communities, and defend democracy. And once again, we're coming together to achieve this common goal, and that is to make Hakeem Jeffries Speaker of the House of Representatives. Almost, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Hakeem Jeffries has done what we haven't seen from the other side of the aisle, and that is to keep a caucus united. When extreme MAGA Republicans vowed to send our country into a devastating default, it was Leader Jeffries who led House Democrats to reject the extremism and keep the government open. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, we have the vote totals to back that up. It has been Leader Jeffries and House Democrats who have shown a willingness and a conviction to keep our promise to deliver for American families. And it will be Hakeem Jeffries who will move our body and our country forward on a bipartisan path. Who on the other side of the aisle, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, will take yes for an answer and work with us to achieve three common goals? And my colleague and good friend, the gentleman from Oklahoma, mentioned one of them. Supporting assistance to Israel, but what he left out was assistance to Ukraine and our national security objectives. Second, above all else, we must commit to keep this government open and functioning. And finally, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, we need to put this body on a bipartisan path to achieve real results for the American public. That is what we were sent to do. That is what we need to do. That is why Hakeem Jeffries is the leader we need at this time to lead this chamber. I'd like to nominate Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House. I yield back.
No further nominations. The reading clerk will now call the roll.
Adams. Jeffries. Adderholt. Jordan. Aguilar. Jeffries. Alford. Jordan. Allen. Jordan. Allred. Jeffries. Amadei. Jordan. Armstrong. Jordan. Arrington. Jordan. Auchincloss. Jeffries. Babin. Jordan. Bacon. McCarthy. Baird. Jordan. Balderson. Jordan. Ballant. Jeffries. Banks. Jordan. Barr. Jordan. Barragan. Jeffries. Bean of Florida. Jordan. Beatty. Jeffries. Bentz. Jordan. Barra. Jeffries. Bergman. Jordan. Beyer. Jeffries. Bice. Jordan. Biggs. Jordan. Bilirakis. Jordan. Bishop of Georgia. Jeffries. Bishop of North Carolina. Jordan. Blumenauer. Jeffries. Blunt Rochester. Jeffries. Boebert. Jordan. Bonamici. Jeffries. Bost. Jordan. Bowman. Jeffries. Boyle of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. Burkeen. Jordan. Brown. Jeffries. Brownlee. Jeffries. Buchanan. Donalds. Buck. Emmer. Bouchon. Jordan. Basinski. Jeffries. Burchett. Jordan. Burgess. Jordan. Burleson. Jordan. Bush. Jeffries. Calvert. Jordan. Kamek. Jordan. Caraveo. Jeffries. Carbajal. Jeffries. Cardenas. Jeffries. Carey. Jordan. Carl. Jordan. Carson. Jeffries. Carter of Georgia. Jordan. Carter of Louisiana. Jeffries. Carter of Texas. Jordan. Cartwright. Jeffries. Kassar. Jeffries. Case. Jeffries. Caston. Jeffries. Castor of Florida. Jeffries. Castro of Texas. Jeffries. Chavez de Reamer. McCarthy. Sherfilis McCormick. Jeffries. Chu. Jeffries. Cisco Mani. Jordan. Clark of Massachusetts. Jeffries. Clark of New York. Jeffries. Cleaver. Jeffries. Klein. Jordan. Cloud. Jordan. Clyburn. Jeffries. Clyde. Jordan. Cohen. Jeffries. Cole. Jordan. Collins. Jordan. Comer. Jordan. Connolly. Jeffries. Correa. Jeffries. Costa. Jeffries. Courtney. Jeffries. Craig. Jeffries. Crane. Jordan. Crawford. Jordan. Crenshaw. Jordan. Crockett. Jeffries. Crow. Jeffries. Cuellar. Jeffries. Curtis. Jordan. Davids of Kansas. Jeffries. Davidson. Jordan. Davis of Illinois. Jeffries. Davis of North Carolina. Jeffries. Dean of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. DeGette. Jeffries. Dela Cruz. Jordan. DeLauro. Jeffries. Del Bene. Jeffries. DeLuzio. Jeffries. DeSaulnier. Jeffries. Desjardins. Jordan. D'Esposito. Zeldin. Diaz-Balart. Scalise. Dingle. Jeffries. Doggett. Jeffries. Donalds. Jordan. Duarte. Jordan. Duncan. Jordan. Dunn of Florida. Jordan. Edwards. Jordan. LZ. Mike Garcia. Emmer. Jordan. Escobar. Jeffries. Eshu. Jeffries. Espaillat. Jeffries. Estes. Jordan. Evans. Jeffries. Azell. Jordan. Fallon. Jordan. Finstra, Jordan. Ferguson, Scalise. Finstad, Jordan. Fishbach, Jordan. Fitzgerald, Jordan. Fitzpatrick, Jordan. Fleischman, Jordan. Fletcher, Jeffries. Flood, Jordan. Foster, Jeffries. Fushi, Jeffries. Fox, Jordan. Lois Frankel, Jeffries. Scott Franklin, Jordan. Frost, Jeffries. Fry, Jordan. Fulcher, Jordan. Gates, Jordan. Gallagher, Jordan. Gallego, Jeffries. Garamendi, Jeffries. Garbarino, Zeldin. Mike Garcia, Jordan. Robert Garcia, Jeffries. Garcia of Illinois, Jeffries. Garcia of Texas, Jeffries. Jimenez, McCarthy. Golden of Maine, Jeffries. Goldman of New York, Jeffries. Gomez, Jeffries. Tony Gonzalez, Scalise. Vicente Gonzalez, Jeffries. Good of Virginia, Jordan. Gooden of Texas, Jordan. Gosar, Jordan. Gottheimer, Jeffries. Granger, Scalise. Graves of Louisiana, Jordan. Graves of Missouri, Jordan. Green of Tennessee, Jordan. Green of Texas, Jeffries. Green of Georgia, Jordan. Griffith, Jordan. Grijalva, Jeffries. Grothman, Jordan. Guest, Jordan. Guthrie, Jordan. Hageman, Jordan. Harder of California, Jeffries. Harris, Jordan. Harshbarger, Jordan. Hayes, Jeffries. Hearn, Jordan. Higgins of Louisiana, Jordan. Higgins of New York, Jeffries. Hill, Jordan. Himes, Jeffries. Henson, Jordan. Horsford, Jeffries. Houchin, Jordan. Houlihan, Jeffries. Hoyer, Jeffries. Hoyle of Oregon, Jeffries. Hudson, Jordan. Huffman, Jeffries. Huizinga, Jordan. Hunt, Jordan. Issa, Jordan. Ivy, Jeffries. Jackson of Illinois, Jeffries. Jackson of North Carolina, Jeffries. Jackson of Texas, Jordan. Jackson Lee, Jeffries. Jacobs, Jeffries. James, Miller Meeks. Candace Miller of Michigan.
House will come to order. The clerk will continue.
Jayapal, Jeffries. 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 Johnson of Georgia, Jeffries. Johnson of Louisiana, Jordan. Johnson of Ohio, Jordan. Johnson of South Dakota, Jordan. Jordan, Jordan. Joyce of Ohio, Jordan. Joyce of Pennsylvania, Jordan. Camlogger Dove, Jeffries. Captor, Jeffries. Kane of New Jersey, Jordan. Keating, Jeffries. Kelly of Illinois, Jeffries. Kelly of Mississippi, Jordan. Kelly of Pennsylvania,
Former Speaker of the House, the Honorable John Boehner.
Boehner. Kana. Khanna. Jeffries. Higgins of Virginia. McCarthy. Kildee. Jeffries. Kiley. Jordan. Kilmer. Jeffries. Kim of California. Jordan. Kim of New Jersey. Jeffries. Krishnamurthy. Jeffries. Custer. Jeffries. Kustoff. Jordan. LaHood. Jordan. LaLota. Zeldin. LaMalfa. Jordan. Lamborn. Lamborn. Jordan. Landsman. Jeffries. Langworthy. Jordan. Larson of Washington. Jeffries. Larson of Connecticut. Jeffries. Latta. Jordan. LaTurner. Jordan. Lawler.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
McCarthy. Lee of California. Jeffries. Lee of Florida. Jordan. Lee of Nevada. Jeffries. Lee of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. Ledger Fernandez. Jeffries. Lesko. Jordan. Letlow. Jordan. Levin. Jeffries. Liu. Jeffries. Lofgren. Jeffries. Loudermilk. Jordan. Lucas. Jordan. Luetkemeyer. Jordan. Luna. Jordan. Luttrell. Jordan. Lynch. Jeffries. Mace. Jordan. Magaziner. Jeffries. Maliotakis. Jordan. Mann. Jordan. Manning. Jeffries. Massey. Jordan. Mast. Jordan. Matsui. Jeffries. McBath. Jeffries. McCarthy. Jordan. McCall. Jordan. McLean. Jordan. McClellan. Jeffries. McClintock. Jordan. McCollum. Jeffries. McCormick. Jordan. McGarvey. Jeffries. McGovern. Jeffries. McHenry. Jordan. Meeks. Jeffries. Menendez. Jeffries. Ming. Jeffries. Muser. Jordan. Mfume. Jeffries. Miller of Illinois. Jordan. Miller of Ohio. Jordan. Miller of West Virginia. Jordan. Miller Meeks. Granger. Mills. Jordan. Molinaro. Jordan. Molinar. Jordan. Mooney. Jordan. Moore of Alabama. Jordan. Moore of Utah. Jordan. Moore of Wisconsin. Jeffries. Moran. Jordan. Morelli.
Mr. Jeffries.
Jeffries. Moskowitz. Jeffries. Moulton. Jeffries. Mervan. Jeffries. Mullen. Jeffries. Murphy. Jordan. Nadler. Jeffries. Napolitano. Jeffries. Neal. Jeffries. Neguse. Jeffries. Nels. Jordan. Newhouse. Jordan. Nickel. Jeffries. Norcross. Jeffries. Norman. Jordan. Nunn of Iowa. Jordan. Obernolte. Jordan. Ocasio-Cortez. Jeffries. Ogles. Jordan. Omar. Jeffries. Owens. Jordan. Pallone. Jeffries. Palmer. Jordan. Panetta. Jeffries. Pappas. Jeffries. Pasquarel. Jeffries. Payne. Payne. Pelosi. Jeffries. Peltola. Jeffries. Pence. Jordan. Perez. Perez. Jeffries. Perry. Jordan. Peters. Jeffries. Pedersen. Jeffries. Pfluger. Jordan. Phillips. Jeffries. Pingree. Jeffries. Pocan. Jeffries. Porter. Jeffries. Posey. Jordan. Presley. Jeffries. Quigley. Jeffries. Ramirez. Jeffries. Raskin. Jeffries. Reschenthaler. Jordan. Rogers of Washington. Jordan. Rogers of Alabama. Jordan. Rogers of Kentucky. Jordan. Rose. Jordan. Rosendale. Jordan. Ross. Jeffries. Rouser. Jordan. Roy. Jordan. Ruiz. Jeffries. Rupersberger. Jeffries. Rutherford. Scalise. Ryan. Jeffries. Salazar. Jordan. Salinas. Jeffries. Sanchez. Jeffries. Santos. Jordan. Sarbanes. Jeffries. Scalise. Jordan. Scanlon. Jeffries. Schakowsky. Jeffries. Schiff. Jeffries. Schneider. Jeffries. Skolton. Jeffries. Schreier. Jeffries. Schweikert. Jordan. Austin Scott. Jordan. David Scott. Jeffries. Scott of Virginia. Jeffries. Self. Jordan. Sessions. Jordan. Sewell. Jeffries. Sherman. Jeffries. Sherrill. Jeffries. Simpson. Scalise. Slotkin. Jeffries. Smith of Missouri. Jordan. Smith of Nebraska. Jordan. Smith of New Jersey. Jordan. Smith of Washington. Jeffries. Smucker. Jordan. Sorensen. Jeffries. Soto. Jeffries. Spanberger. Jeffries. Sparts. Sparts. Stansberry. Jeffries. Stanton. Jeffries. Stauber. Westerman. Steele. Jordan. Stefanik. Jordan. Style. Jordan. Stube. Jordan. Stevens. Jeffries. Strickland. Jeffries. Strong. Jordan. Swalwell. Jeffries. Sykes. Jeffries. Takano. Jeffries. Tenney. Jordan. Tanadar. Jeffries. Thompson of California. Jeffries. Thompson of Mississippi. Jeffries. Thompson of Pennsylvania. Jordan. Tiffany. Jordan. Timmons. Jordan. Titus. Jeffries. Talib. Talib. Takuda. Jeffries. Tonko. Jeffries. Torres of California. Jeffries. Torres of New York. Jeffries. Trahan. Jeffries. Trone. Trone. Turner. Jordan. Underwood. Jeffries. Valadeo. Jordan. Van Drew.
The Honorable Jim Jordan.
Jordan. Van Dyne. Jordan. Van Orden. Jordan. Vargas. Jeffries. Vasquez. Jeffries. Vesey. Jeffries. Velasquez. Jeffries. Wagner. Jordan. Wahlberg. Jordan. Waltz. Jordan. Wasserman Schultz. Jeffries. Waters. Jeffries. Watson Coleman. Jeffries. Weber of Texas. Jordan. Webster of Florida. Jordan. Winstrup. Jordan. Westerman. Jordan. Wexton. Jeffries. Wild. Jeffries. Williams of Georgia. Jeffries. Williams of New York. Jordan. Williams of Texas. Jordan. Wilson of Florida. Jeffries. Wilson of South Carolina. Jordan. Whitman. Jordan. Womack. Scalise. Yakum. Jordan. Zinke. Jordan.
We gotta go back through. I got Payne missing. I got Sparks missing. And I got Talib missing. And Trey. Okay. So you should have 4 missing. Let me get my pen. Hang on. Your first one is going to be Mr. Payne. Payne. Yeah. Yeah. So she'll call again. Payne's your first one.
Alright, we still do not have the exact numbers, but the preliminary result shows Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York have received 210 votes. Representative Jim Jordan received 197, while others have voted 22. Let's now listen for other call.
Okay, Sparks.
Sparts. Jordan.
So you got 199. Okay, Talib's next.
Talib. Jeffries.
And then the next one we have is Trone.
Trone. Jeffries.
Alright. Okay. Here is the latest tally. The preliminary tally. We'll just wait for the confirmation. But here is the preliminary tally for the speakership of the U.S. House of Representatives. Alright, so we are still waiting for the confirmation from the chair, but here is the latest tally. Alright, Representative Hakeem Jeffries has received 213 votes. We are, I think, one Republican have voted for Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Why? Because yesterday, Congressman Jeffries received 212 votes. Representative Jim Jordan, meanwhile, received 198 votes. 22 have voted other people such as they voted Representative Ken McCarthy. I think someone mentioned Representative former House Speaker John Boehner, and also House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Oops, apologies for that. The final tally is 199, sorry. 199 to 112. I think the graphic of C-SPAN just became wrong, but the final tally 212 Jeffries, 199 Jordan.
With that process done and the numbers there on the screen, now the tallying finishing up and paperwork to be signed, and then it's on to next steps. As far as what next steps specifically, nobody knows at this point, but Representative Jim Jordan with 199 members of Congress supporting him, Republicans, he got 200 yesterday, you'll remember. Hakeem Jeffries with the same 212 from his Democratic coalition, and then 22 voting against Representative Jordan, nobody voting present. And so this is finishing up, and we'll wait and see what next steps are as the paperwork and the final dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's is done.
once again. The tally for the House Speaker race is 212, Representative Hakeem Jeffries; 199, Representative Jim Jordan; 22 others, for a total of 430. 33. I guess that's calculate. That's for a total of 432 members. So all 432 members of the House are present for today's House Speaker vote. Let's see what will be the next step of Congress about this, because as we have said earlier, there's a talks of a resolution voting, or a vote for a resolution positioning Speaker Pro Tempore Patrick McHenry until January 2024. I think I've reported it earlier. So still, let's await on what will be the next step of the House of Representatives. Still, there's no speaker elected. This was the first time for me watching the House proceedings. This was the first time to saw a House not getting a speaker in just one vote, like what happened during Kevin McCarthy's first election back in January. We awaited for 15 total 15 ballots, right? That 15th ballot was the one that put Kevin McCarthy over the top to win the House speakership race. Here's the thing why it becomes stronger. That 216, I think, that Kevin McCarthy got when he was elected was cause of some representatives voting the present. If I'm not mistaken, if a representative votes present in a voting, that lowers the threshold needed. For a bill or the speaker race to pass. It's good for the Democrats that they are still staying with just one. That's House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries, because if you look at the previous voting, if you look at the previous results, rather, 212 ballot number 1, 212 ballot number 2 and 3. That was back on January. 4, 5, 6 also got 212 Democrats. Next, 7th, 8th, and 9th ballot, also 10th ballot, 11th have 212. 12th, 13th, and 14th ballot also voted 212 Democrats for Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Then, lastly, the final vote, 15th ballot, 212 voted for Representative Kevin McCarthy. So, I think it's good. It's a sign for the Democrats that if they can hold back the majority next election, they will have a round one voting. Alright? So we'll still await. I think the tellers are still counting or checking if the result is accurate, that they have received 212 votes for the speakership race. Alright, on the next America Talks episode, we'll talk about this House speakership race. Hopefully, that episode, if we do that episode, hopefully there's a new House speaker. But yes, we'll talk about this House speaker vote when we air the fourth episode of America Talks. Still, capital politics will remain will still continue to help the American people as we prepare to vote in 2024 elections. All right, let's just get some news for a while. All right. Yes, that's it. The U.S. House fails to elect speaker on the second ballot. Alright. So the Democrats, if they can have a consensus with the Republicans, they just need to have at least 5 to join them, because that will reach them to 217 votes, and that we can see now, or we can have a speaker, Hakeem Jeffries, if they will have a consensus with the Republicans. But I think the Democrats are having now are talking, I think, since then, on how they would It's 1:14 a.m. in the Philippines, here in Manila, 1:14 p.m. in the United States East Coast, but still there's no speaker elected. The let's await what would be the decision of the Republican conference. I think now Speaker Pro Temp Patrick McHenry will announce the speakership result. Let's now listen. Once again, alright, the House, I think House Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry will now announce his decision.
The House will come to order. The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 433, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 199. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212. The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 5. The Honorable Byron Donalds of the state of Florida has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of Minnesota has received 1. Lee Zeldin of the state of New York has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7. The Honorable Mike Garcia of the state of California has received 1. Candace Miller of the state of Michigan has received 1. John Boehner of the state of Ohio has received 1. The Honorable Kay Granger of the state of Texas has received 1. The Honorable Bruce Westerman of the state of Arkansas has received 1. No person having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not been elected. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
And that's the end result of this second day of
All right, that ends. We'll await on what will be the next step of the House of Representatives of the United States of America after that historic still no vote. Again, the results: 212 voted for Representative Hakeem Jeffries, 199 voted for Representative Jim Jordan. 22 others have voted, other people such as stated earlier, Lee Zeldin, former House Speaker John Boehner, Representative Mike Garcia, Representative Kevin McCarthy, and Representative Steve Scalise. We can see the tweet from Jake Sherman. House Republicans right now are waiting on Jim Jordan to decide. So here's the latest tally, or the official tally. Jeffries 212, Jordan 199, Scalise 7, McCarthy 5, Zeldin 3, Garcia 1, Emmer 1, Donalds 1, Mueller 1, Boehner 1, Granger 1, Westerman 1. 217 votes needed to win the gavel. And that has been Capital Politics coverage of the House Speaker vote. Tune in to continued coverage of Capital Politics on the House Speaker vote. We'll give you update on when will be the next steps. We'll give you the next steps on the House Speaker vote. But to those who are asking, we're also covering the Israel at war, or the Israel-Hamas war. We'll give you updates on that continuing war, but still the House doesn't have a speaker. Again, 212 for Representative Hakeem Jeffries, 199 for Representative Jim Jordan, 7 voted for Representative Steve Scalise, 5 for Representative Ken McCarthy, 3 for former Congressman Lee Zeldin, Representative Garcia 1, Representative Emmer 1, Representative Donalds 1, Representative Candice Miller 1, John Boehner 1, Granger 1, Westerman 1. Thank you so much for joining us on The Vote, a new speaker. I'm Ethan Vargas from Manila. Have a good afternoon.